you have turned my morning into dancing. Over and over and over again, oh Lord, you have turned my sorrow into joy. Over and over and over again, oh Lord, you have turned my morning into dancing. Over and over and over again, you have been my shield, the lifter of my head. You are my joy, you are my joy, and I will always love you. I will always love you just for you. You are my joy, you are my joy, and I will always love you. I will always love you just for you. You are my joy, you are my joy. Oh Lord, you have turned my morning into dancing. Over and over and over again, oh Lord, you have turned my sorrow into joy. Over and over and over again, you have been my shield, the lifter of my head. You are my joy, you are my joy, and I will always love you. I will always love you just for you. You are my joy, you are my joy, and I will always love you. I will always love you just for you. You are my joy, you are my joy.
As we start this joyous morning off, know that we are truly blessed to be here, and the blessing you have is the joy of the Lord in your heart. And if you feel that joy, we invite you to get up and sing along and clap us because you know the turn.
You turn my morning
Turn my morning.
into dancing.
You did it over and over.
Over and over, over and over and over and over again. You turn my morning into dancing. Over and over, over and over and over and over again. You turn my morning into dancing. Over and over, over and over and over and over again. You turn my morning into dancing. Over and over, over and over and over and over again.
When I look back over my life, all the things that I've been through, I stand here today with the joy. Lord, it's because of you. When I was down on my last dime, felt I didn't have a friend. You touched my heart and gave me joy within. Lord,
You turn my
you
morning
turned my morning.
into dancing.
You did it over and over.
Over and over,
Yes, you did.
and over and over and over again. You turn my
You
morning
turned my morning.
into dancing.
You did it over and over.
Over and over,
Said you did it, you did. You did it, you did it.
you turn my morning into dancing. Over and over, over and over and over and over again. You turn my
goodness, oh my goodness. Celebration. Yes. Woo. Thank you guys, the band. Did you see Tony was on fire? Tony was just like, she was having a party up there. I was with you. Yes. This is my favorite day of the week because I get to be with you and I get to be with you guys as well. So it's a good day. It's a good day. Welcome, everyone, to Unity Church of the Hills. It's a pleasure to see you all here. It's a little burr out there. Not prepared. I came just like this, and I went, oh, my God. What was I thinking? If you're online and you're joining us, we're just really glad that you're here, that you have chosen us to be your spiritual family. I don't know if you know how much that means to us, but it really does mean a lot. And if you are joining us online for the first time, you can type connect in the comment section, and one of the ambassadors will reach out to you. I was dancing, a little bit out of breath. And if you're here for the first time, there are little cards in the pews that you can fill out and drop it in the basket as it comes around, and someone will reach out to you as well. What else? It's a birthday time. Whose birthday is it for February? Booyah. Nice. Who else? Booyah. Oh, Nina, great. Nice. Welcome. Love it. Love it, Valerie. Okay, would you mind? Can we sing to them? Stay standing. Stay standing. Come on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Oh, that's wonderful. It's so great. Congratulations on your birthdays. It's a special time, and it's important for us as a community to love you up, to let you know that you matter to us, and that you were born, and here you are. So it's just one of those love things that I just think is so important. And here we are, finding yourself in transition. This is the last day for it. It's from 2 till 5 this afternoon, and it's completely virtual, and you can still get in if you'd like to. Town hall meeting next week. So you can tell I'm super excited about it. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I am super excited about it because it's important for me to have dialogue going on as a community, as the energy of the collection, right? The collective energy, and that we all get to come together and really just listen. I get to listen to you. You listen to me an awful lot. So I get to listen to you. So we're excited about next week, and I'm going to make it as brief and as painless as possible, I promise. We're going to just dive right into it towards the end of service next week. Short period of time that we're committed to, and we will end on time, and you'll still have the rest of the afternoon. So please, please join us, and we will also make room for those of you online who would like to share with us as well. We will have moderators available for that. So it's a juicy time. Okay, the Path is our new member class. Do you remember it used to be 5 weeks? And we needed a 5-week commitment for you to go through it. Now, we figured it's pretty painful to commit 5 weeks in a row. So we've really worked, the education team and myself have really worked to figuring out a way to make it a little less painful, a little less. And so it's going to be for 3 weeks. So that's a very manageable commitment. And the reason that we do this new member class is it gives you the foundation of unity. We go through those 5 principles that are our core beliefs, and it also allows you then to be active members of the community. And that becomes really important when there's things to be voted on. You have to be a member to be able to vote. Got it? All right, good. I love it. What's next? Our youth, yes. They are here, and we are now finally down to stage 4. Thank you, God. So that's wonderful. So I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers are continuing to track down, so that's really positive and powerful, and I'm just like, please, let's get down to 2 as fast as possible. So what that means for us difference-wise is the kids are still not coming in, but they'll be able to be in the classrooms now. Thank goodness, because the weather took a dip here, so that's helpful. And we will have tea and coffee as refreshment when we're in stage 4. So we're moving to better days. And we are going to be talking about our vision statement. So when we talk about our vision statement, this is our destination as a community. Will you share it with me? We are an ever-expanding community of love and acceptance where lives are transformed. Super duper. Before I do the opening prayer intro, I just want to say, Becca, the Magnificent, will be going to Hawaii for a year. I think they may be a little bit excited about it, just a little. So they will be leaving us since August-ish to head out to be over there, and it's a 1-year residency. A year without Becca. Whoa. But this is what we want for our people, right? We want them to blossom. We want them to grow. We want them to expand and go change the world. And we know that they will do that. So it is my honor to invite Thaleen up to do the opening prayer. She is one of our prayer chaplains. Roderick, looking all dapper. Do you see he's got a vest on now? Look. Oh, no. Looking all good over there, Roderick. He will do the bird, the bowl.
That beautiful sound just slowly fades away. We come into our heart center. We just come to that place where we know that the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's here, it's now. We don't have to wait. We can just breathe it in. And in that sweet space, we think of those qualities that we think of as heaven: bliss, joy, peace, oneness, love. We bring those qualities forward inside ourselves, in our lives, in this sanctuary, in our community at large, in the world. We ask the whole world just experience a nudge into their own kingdom of heaven, where those qualities live and are vital. And in that, we are just so grateful to live in this oneness, this one power and one presence. God the good. We are so grateful. And so it is. Amen.
The victory, I've got the sweet, sweet victory in Jesus. Yes, victory in Jesus. There is but one God and one power. That's why I have true victory every hour.
I'm not worrying about material things I don't have. I'm just blessed because I know that the Spirit is there. I know that my blessings are on the way. I can see it right now, but I stand by faith. God is now and will always be the same. I hold up God's power and God called my name. Jesus is the truth and the light. Believe me when I say God will make it alright.
Got the victory.
I got the victory in Jesus.
Yes, I do. He is almighty
Mighty
conqueror. God, I will trust in my trials no more. I got the victory. I got the sweet, sweet victory in Jesus. This is one God and one power. That's why I have true victory every hour. I got the victory, yeah. I got the victory, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you got the victory, sing along with me, yeah.
I got the victory, yeah. I got the victory, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sing it with me. I got the victory.
Got the victory.
I got the
Sweet, sweet victory in Jesus. Yes, I do. He is
He's a
almighty
mighty
conqueror. God, I will trust in my trials no more.
I got the victory.
I got the sweet, sweet victory in Jesus.
got the
There is but one God and one power. That's why I have true victory every hour. I got the victory, yeah. I got the victory, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
I got the victory, yeah. I got the victory, yeah.
Sing it with me. Sing it with me.
Got the victory.
I got the
I got the sweet,
victory.
sweet victory in Jesus. Yes, I do. He is a mighty conqueror. In God I will trust. See my trials no more. I got the victory. I got the sweet, sweet victory in Jesus. There is but one God and one power. That's why I have true victory every hour.
I got the victory. You got the victory. We got the victory. Yeah, yeah.
I could feel God just flowing through and out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. Whew. That is some power here. I love the energy of this community. It just, what we can do together is going to be phenomenal. I know it, I feel it. Ooh, the song's still going on in my head. Sorry. Gotta calm down. Well, last week when I did the talk here about change, I said to you that everything in life is change. Everything. And so this week what we're going to do is we are going to culminate the work that we've been doing with Robert Brummett's book, Finding Yourself in Transition. And really the premise of that book is to support us in understanding that if we are alive, we are in the midst of change. If we are alive, we are in the midst of change. This is the one constant of life. Change is always occurring. Even if we think if I just stop everything and sit here and don't move and don't engage, I can stop change. Like we haven't been there and done that. That's a myth. Change keeps happening. Change. Our bodies are constantly changing. Do you know that? Our bodies are constantly changing. Cells die and rejuvenate all on their own. Every 7 to 10 years, all of our cells die off and are replaced by brand new cells. And this happens without us doing anything, commanding anything. Like, okay, ear, it's your turn to now have your cells rejuvenated, go at it. No, right? It's an automatic way of life, energy, energy, energy. Change and renewal is a natural part of life. But as humans, we tend to resist change. We stomp our feet and say, no, one more thing. I can't deal with one more change. But if we're breathing, then change is happening. It's automatic. It's how energy works. Energy is a flow. Energy is life. Energy flows through everything and everyone. Energy is not static. So, us poor humans. You know, we look at this woman and we think, oh my gosh, so you think holding your breath in a yoga pose and putting your hand up is going to stop that shark? Well, we may say that she's crazy, but how many times do we in our own lives hold our breath and say, stop, stop, I refuse to accept what is? Even our very breath is change. Every time that we exhale, we are releasing carbon dioxide, and every time that we inhale, we are taking in oxygen. There is a renewal. In that air exchange, what happens is a release of our toxins, and it's happening whether we believe in it or not. Just facts. So if change is normal and a natural state of being, then why do we fear and resist change? Well, we fear the unknown. Humans enjoy that false sense of security and certainty and understanding how the world works and how is the order of things. We will wake up and make up untruths and false realities to make us feel certain that our beliefs are valid. Do you know some people like that? If we can create a desired result based on some formula in our mind, like one thought and one action equals enlightenment, we're like, woohoo, we figured it out, right? Or as this woman is holding her breath and putting her hand up to stop this shark, it gives us a false sense of security and confidence in our lives. Change disrupts the certainty. Change disrupts the certainty. We humans like our routines, our automatic ways of doing things, right? And that's why the pandemic was so tough for so many of us, because it disrupted our routines. We had to figure things out all over again. And we were not happy campers about it. So, this is why we have that instinct to push against change. Now, here in Unity and in New Thought communities, we consider ourselves spiritual seekers, meaning that we are folks who've made that choice to be fearless in awakening our spirituality and awakening our consciousness. But guess what? We don't want change either. And we can see evidence of this in our communities, right? A beloved minister leaves, what's the first thought? Oh, there's fear. Something's going to change. Things are going to change. A new minister comes in. Our first thought is, oh, fear. Oh, something's going to change. And guess what? Of course, the answer is yes. It will change. Everything is change. Life means change. And when I first arrived at Unity Church of the Hills, there was this level of excitement that as a community, we were going to become this activated force field of love in the community. And yet, there was this hope that, well, maybe we could transform by just keeping everything stasis. I was lovingly inundated with information about previous successes, the way things were done at UCOH, how they needed to be, and I understood underneath this loving siege of helpfulness was the fear of the unknown, the fear of the unknown. And this is what happens when we find ourselves in transition. Transition occurs when a major event happens in our lives. Transition is the process or the period of time from one state or condition to the next. And here's the thing, we cannot rush this process either. We can't put it on our time clock. We can't say, fine, I guess I'll have to go through transition, but I'm giving it 3 months, right? All we're going to do when we try to do that is frustrate ourselves and everyone involved. Transition has certain elements that occur over time and requires that we put our trust in divine order. And part of that trust means knowing that this transition time, as uncomfortable as it may feel, as uncertain as it is, as fearful as we may feel, is for us. It's for us, for our good and for our highest growth. So having a minister leave and then a new minister arrives automatically places the community, the spiritual community, in the process of transition. And I mentioned before that this is a fertile time for all involved, but it can also be really uncomfortable, right? Because the old way has been disrupted. The old way of doing things has been disrupted. But it's also a time of immense creativity, expansion, and possibilities. If we allow it. If we allow it. In the book, Finding Yourself in Transition, Brummett mentions that there's 3 phases that we go through. One is the ending, then the void, and then the new beginning. So last week I talked about ending and the void, and so I'll just give you the definition that he has for new beginning. A true new beginning will occur only after we have completed the inner work that is part of the previous stages. Did you hear that? New beginning only happens after we have completed the inner work that is part of the previous stages. New beginnings often occur in unexpected ways. Did you know that this community has been in transition for about 5 years? 5 years. That's a long time for a community to be in transition. And then I started calculating. And then I realized I'm the 6th minister you've had in 5 years. I'm the 6th minister you've had in 5 years, right? Because the Grandins came in, so that's Brian and Kristen. And then after they left, Rev Steve came back for a short period of time. And then Reverend Ross came in, had a health challenge. And then Rev Eliza came in, and now I'm here. When you hear that, what do you feel? What do you think? I heard damn, yes. What else? What else? Wow, yes. Yes. That's a lot of change. And you're still here. Hear that. And you're still here. Because there is a resilience in this community. There is a stream of love in this community, and I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. You're still here. You are still here. So do you think with all of that change going on in 5 years that you've had the opportunity for stability? I don't think so. I don't think so. And we need that stability to really figure out who we are and where we plan to go. So this is why it's so vital for us to do this work, to understand what experiences have happened here that have impacted the community. And so that's why on May 6th and 7th, we're going to be having an intense workshop called HOP-COF, which stands for Honoring Our Past and Creating Our Future, HOP-COF. We're having a consultant come in. Maybe some of you remember David Mosher. He came and spoke here a while ago, and he is a consultant, and David is someone that I personally know. David's church, when he left, that was my first church. out in Lawrence, Kansas. So I got to know him and his wife, Edna, who's also a minister, really, really well. And I can tell you that David not only has skills, but he walks with authenticity and integrity and is unafraid to call what he sees. And that's why I just think he's the best choice to come out here. So that is May 6th and 7th. So it'll be the evening of May 6th and all day on the 7th. Please put that in your calendar, because you may be thinking, well, yeah, a lot's changed and lots happened in our community, but what you don't realize is all of that creates a residual energy. It's a residual energy that's created from those experiences. And even though intellectually we go, yeah, we know it's all energy, we're all divine, blah, 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 we get surprised when energy impacts us. So we want to do this work so that we can, as a community, decide what is our future. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, that was before my time. I'm a newbie. I don't have to deal with that. Or you may be thinking, you know what? I wasn't involved, so I'm out of that too. You may even be thinking, I was Switzerland doing the whole thing. I was so neutral. So I don't have to participate. Well, here's the thing. Whether you're an active participant, whether you weren't here, whether you were Switzerland, you are here now in this community, and this community is a family system. This community is a family system. So that means energetically, you're impacted. Got it? And so for us to do this necessary work to create a new, it's going to take all of us, because you're going to bring, if you're new, this is the perfect time to be here, because we are in that place of rebuild. And so what that means is you bring your love, you bring your outside visions, your insights, and your passions, and we get to listen as we create a new community filled with love and inclusion. Brumett says this: the old must be released, but we must learn the lesson of each experience before we completely let it go. It cannot be released until it is melted down and consumed in our consciousness. It must be transmuted and assimilated through awareness, acceptance, and forgiveness. We may believe that we've done our healing already, but if we're still holding on to the past in resistance to what is, then we've not transmuted or forgiven. And that's the goal, that's the real goal of healing work. So here I am, after all those minister changes, minister number 6, so you now can call me, hey, Minister 6. What am I doing here? I'm here really to support you. I'm here to support you and be the love, and just know that you are safe here in this community. And mine is to call you to your highest self. That's my personal passion and my call, right? And so when we come together, there is this magnetic attraction to do this work together. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. And we are kind of in the void right now. You know, it's uncomfortable. We're not sure. We're not certain. We don't know what it's going to look like. But if we are able to be spiritually mature, we can allow us to be guided during this time, to be divinely guided during this time, because this is a time of deconstruction to reconstruction. We can't build unless we know what's going on, unless we have the plans, unless we've dug through the foundation to see what's there to rebuild. And that's where we are right now. And my friends, we are resilient. You've proven already that you're resilient. You're equipped to do this work. So the promised land. The promised land is real, but it is not a destination. It's a state of consciousness. The promised land is knowing of truth that we are all of God. The promised land calls us to be the light of the world. The promised land resides in the frequency of love. And during the transition process that we're on together, it's a time of awakening to the truth. We are not alone. We are not separated from God or from each other. And that we are being called to step out in faith. So this time that we're in the void can be a time of great spiritual awakening. It's a time of being the vessel, holding it open so that it can be filled by Spirit. So I invite you to embrace this time. Brummett clarifies that crises precedes transformation. Did you hear that? Crises precedes transformation in the global scheme of the macrocosm. And so crisis precedes transformation in the life of the individual in the microcosm. Crisis itself, however, does not automatically produce transformation. The crucial factor lies in the way we handle our crisis, our attitude towards it. So what if we changed and reframe? What if we looked at crisis as a circumstance that is calling us higher? That simple reframing would then have us changing our mindset from fear to anticipation, knowing that we are seeing past the human lens of tragedy, of separation, of division, to viewing the crisis through the lens of our divinity, that this crisis is calling us to transmute and transform. It's a call to let go of your false beliefs that we can control anything and to surrender to Spirit. And we do this work all without condemnation or denial. You know, I can tell you that I've had a recent time in transition, and I had to look at my own beliefs. Yeah, that was me, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I know that I've shared with you the story of when I heard it was time to leave that community. I thought I would just immediately kind of jump into the next community, and I said to myself, I'll give it 3 months. I was being generous. Well, when month 9 came rolling around, and I still did not have a community, I still did not have my tribe, I was beside myself. So, Miss Capable, Miss Manifester decided to push and force doors to try to open. And they were solidly shut. And then into the void I go, right? Confused, unsure. And I had to look at the beliefs that I held, and I had to undo some of those beliefs. The beliefs that I had about what success and wholeness looks like. I had to redefine success. And then I surrendered. And during that time of being surrendered, it was a really amazing, fruitful time for me, believe it or not. I mean, it's like there was all this creative explosion that happened in and around me. It was a time that I first published my article. I wrote a book. I realized that there was transitional ministry, and I got fully trained and certified in that. And then I had a community that I did transitional work with, all while traveling across the country. Talk about a juicy time. Just in surrendering. Just in surrendering. So, and all of that prepared me to be here now, to be able to be with you now. Brummett wrote this from Marilyn Ferguson. Conflict, pain, tension, fear, paradox. These are transformations trying to happen. Once we confront them, the transformative process begins. That's a pretty powerful quote, isn't it? So there's an immense level of transformation that occurs when we embrace change, whether it's a pandemic relationship, work life, spirituality. It's all change. It's all change. And ours is to be mindful of what those conscious gifts are going to be on the other side. Because there are gifts on the other side, my friend. So here's the thing I want you to walk away with. You are in the right and perfect place. This is the right and perfect time. Here, now. Now, you've said yes to being here, so I'm inviting you to be bold, to be inquisitive. Because you know what? Change is going to happen. It's going to happen. So you can be in resistance to it and be miserable and make other people around you miserable. Or you can be in acceptance and wonder and in awe of what's coming. So the choice, my friends, always free choice, yours. Blessings.
It's not over. It's not finished. It's not ending.
it's not over. Can I get an amen? It's not over. Roderick, we love and appreciate your skills, your talents. What do we get? We get this. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm not sure how to bring it down now for meditation, but we'll work on that. It's not over. All right, my loves, let's ground into Mother Earth. Let's get our feet solid. Let Mother Earth take that energy, we just move it down. Bless Mother Earth with all that joy and all that love. Allow your spine to be open. Let that energy move freely through you. Now take that beautiful deep breath in and exhale. I'm going to invite you to do that again, and this time when you exhale, breathe out love. Inhale, exhale, love, love, love. And imagine that love saturates this entire building, this beautiful sanctuary, where we know and feel that God is present. And allow that loving energy to intertwine with everyone's energy in here. And for those of you online, bring your loving energy in as well and let it grow. And then we move that energy out into the world, into Austin. And as we see that combined huge resonance and frequency of love blessing Austin, we see miracles happening. Brothers and sisters taking care of those who are less fortunate. We see that love permeating consciousness and awakening folks to their truth. There is only oneness. And then we see that energy moving across the United States, moving, miracles happening with that frequency of love just whooshing across the United States, and then it's pushing across the globe quickly and easily, rapidly. And then we see the Ukraine, and we take another deep breath in, and we exhale love, and see that just blessing the people of the Ukraine, letting them know they are of God, they are not alone. And then we see that beautiful energy of love also moving over to Russia. Awakening, awakening, calling for oneness, calling for peace. And we breathe. Love is the only answer. Love. And as we see our combined energy of love just flowing and resonating between these two countries, we hold the knowing of peace. And then we see that ripple of loving energy coming back and flowing right into us here at Unity Church of the Hills. And we call for love. Nothing else. No division, no separation. There is only oneness that can abide here. Oneness. We are all of God. We are all of God. We are all of God. And we breathe into this knowing that it's not over. It's not over until God says so. So take that immense feeling of love and rejuvenation that is now palpable in your skin and in your body, and just hold that for a moment. Feel it for a moment in the silence. And at the sound of my voice, allow that beautiful feel, that energy of love to just dissolve and dissipate over everyone and everything here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And bring your awareness, your consciousness to this sacred place, Unity Church of the Hills. When you're willing, you may flutter your eyes, stretch a little bit. You may be kind of buzzing a little bit. That's okay. Namaste, my friends.
In your talk, you were talking about how we've been through some changes, and we are in the midst of transition, but we are still here. And I think that's something that we should all take in for a moment, because I know we have all had that moment where things weren't going the way we thought it were, but we are still here. So I want you to take that energy of being here in this community, in this presence. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm still here, and I am blessed. And in that blessing, it is time for us to take our blessings and become more of a blessing so that we can continue to still be here. Amen? So as the ushers come forth to take our offering, there are many ways to give of that blessing of being here. And one of them is to text. You can text it to 833-717-7700. You can go online to the web. You can give in the app. You can mail a check. But we are here in our blessing, and we are going to what? Continue to be here, right? So it is now time to give, and of that energy, we will say our affirmation: divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful and blessed. Makes no difference what you're going through. You're gonna make it. God's gonna see you through. Hold your head up, put a smile on your face. This is another test, it won't last always. So get ready for your blessing,
For your blessing,
get ready
get ready
for your miracle,
for your miracle.
get ready
Get ready
for your blessing,
for your blessing.
get ready
Get ready
for your miracle.
for your miracle.
I know you've been hurting deep down inside. Let me encourage you, it's gonna be alright. Troubles and trials come to make you strong. Keep on believing, keep holding on. So get ready for your blessing,
For your blessing,
get ready
get ready
for your miracle,
for your miracle.
get ready
Get ready
for your blessing,
for your blessing.
get ready
Get ready
for your miracle.
for your miracle.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
Oh yes, God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
Say it again, I know God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
Oh, help me say, God's got a blessing.
God's
blessing.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
With your name on it.
With your name on it.
God's got a blessing.
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 With your name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
your name on it.
With your name on it.
With your name on it.
With your name on
With your
it.
name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
your name on it.
With your name on it.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
Oh yeah. Say, God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
I know that I know that I know. God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
Say it again. I said, God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
If you believe, say, God's got a blessing.
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 With your name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
my name on it.
With your name on it.
With my name on it.
With my name on
With
it.
my name on it.
With my name on
With
it.
my name on
With
it.
my name on it.
God's got a blessing.
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 With my name on it.
With my name on it.
You are a blessing.
You are a blessing.
We are a blessing.
We are a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
Come on and claim it.
With my name on it.
You are a blessing.
You are a blessing.
We are a blessing.
We are a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
God's got a blessing.
With your name on it.
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 With your name
With
on
your
it.
name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
your name on it.
With your name
With
on it.
your name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
your name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
your name on it.
With your name on
With
it.
your name on it.
With your name on it.
God's got a blessing.
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 With my name on it.
With my name on it.
That was rocking. Hi, how are you, Jeff? All right, so for all of these gifts, we are filled with gratitude, deep appreciation, and we see that for every giver that has given, their gifts are returned tenfold. And we see this going out into the universe, out into Austin, and making a difference in lives. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, what do you think? Did we have church up in here today? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Okay, so if you are interested in having affirmative prayer, our prayer chaplains are on duty. They will be in that beautiful chapel. If you haven't had the opportunity, just go in and sit and just take in that energy. It's that kind of beauty that's there. Also, there is training that's happening for being a prayer chaplain. So if you've liked the purple sashes, that's something like, oh, I would look good in that purple sash, then you will go over to room 131, and prayer chaplains will be there just to explain the process and what it all entails. So check it out. It's a good thing. All right. We also have a position for a marketing and events manager, and we're inviting you to apply, and we are giving our community first dibs at this before I push it out online into the universe. So if you are being called, you'll notice there's a deadline there of March 10th. So this is not one of those unity moments where you go, well, I think I'll just wait and see what else is coming from the unity. No, this is take action, send your resume to Reggie. All right, great. We also have a wonderful women's group here that is, they're just love bunnies, and not only that, but they care. They care not only about us and what's going on here, but they care about what's going on in Austin area. And you can find them. They've got volunteers that have worked with the Afghani people that have come over. They're out there doing good. They work with the homeless. And not only that, they like to party and have fun, because I've seen them. So if you are feeling like, you just want that kind of sisterhood and that kind of connection, please, they're having a table outside in the foyer. Stop by and ask some questions. Get the dirt. That's all I'm saying. All right. And next week, I'll be here again, and it is going to be Give Up Playing Small. Be magnificent. It's time, my friends. That's right, Thaleen. Spread it out there. Be magnificent. It is time. It is time. So I know so many of us have been conditioned to be good boys and girls from the time we're like this, right? And that's a way of us fitting in, of finding love, of finding connection. And now I'm saying to you, be bold. Step into your power. Step into your purpose. And create a new family system based on magnificence. What? Based on magnificence. So be here next week when I talk about that. And are we at the point of the prayer for protection? Yes. Are you feeling it? All right, together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I love the hand motions. They're fabulous. Have a great week. Celebration will sing us out.